NASCAR isn't what you would think about when you think about Le Mans or Nürburgring or 24 Hours or endurance racing or anything similar to that at all. And while Garage56, at least, you know, here in the States, has really stolen a lot of the attention from Ferrari in their win from, you know, they've come back after 50 years and they won. So good for them. You know, if only their F1 team could do as well. But we're here and we're going to talk about Garage56. I want to talk about the NASCAR that was hauling absolute ass and could actually make right turns. It had headlights. It was a crazy thing to witness. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just talk about Garage56 and the Camaro. We don't even necessarily need to know anything about Hendrick Motorsport, nothing about nothing, and we can just appreciate the fact that a NASCAR, like, they went to France and they did 24 hours. They put headlights on it. It can turn pretty good. What makes this different? So let's talk about it. Garage56, they were a special entry from NASCAR and Hendrick Motorsports in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So we know this already. Now the car was number 24 and it was a Camaro ZL1. It got up to, here's the thing, beyond the amazing sound and just honestly kind of how cool it looks, it got up to 27th at one point, and they were actually ahead of the GTEM, like class or field or whatever you want to call it, eventually within the race. And now I can't really remember when that was, but overall, the car finished 39th out of 62. That's not bad, okay? Just keep in mind, with 24 hours, to just finish is an accomplishment. Good to see, great to see. They were outperforming other cars that are meant to be there. Okay, guys, it's a NASCAR. It's not meant to be there. I mean, this one is, but here's the thing. So it actually had 150 more horsepower than a normal stock car. And on top of that, they did new brakes. They did a whole bunch of stuff. I was talking earlier about the headlights. Obviously, so 24 hours, you're gonna drive in the dark. So they put headlights on. If you look at how they did it, it's really cool. It's flush, and it's just a ton of LEDs. A ton of LEDs. And I understand too that they made it a little bit lighter. I understand that the chassis was lighter, and the arrow, okay, here's the other thing that's kind of crazy. Wrap your head around this, all right? That big flat wicker bill on the back, look, if they removed it, that was more of a drag thing as far as I've heard online, okay? Because it was not aero in the typical sense of like a wing that you'd see on a GT3 car or any one of these other cars, except for the Peugeot, okay? You know, I can't pronounce it, but I do acknowledge that car was cool. Here's a picture of it. Anyways, if they had just made it a little less draggy, it would have ripped on the streets. You're looking at the footage now, but it's keeping up with these, frankly, spaceships. And it's a NASCAR stock car, so I mean it's just so cool. And I found this, and I went down the rabbit hole when I saw this in Texas. I obviously wasn't there. Okay, this is online footage, but that's when I saw it first, and I was like, oh, okay. Going to Le Mans, you need to have a car that can perform, but it's a little different when you see it for the first time, as you might be seeing it for the first time now. That's just some of the highlights of it all. I'm gonna leave you with some TikToks and flybys and all that, just so you can enjoy what they brought to France, all right? And I will leave you on this note. I would recommend going and watching some of the highlights. It was a great race overall. Like I said, Ferrari won. One of the new hypercars didn't even have a wing, okay? Cadillac did pretty good in the LM GTEM class, I think is what it's called. Corvette won. I implore you to indulge yourself. There's so much stuff online about it right now. That's the rundown on Garage56, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next week. I'll see you then.